Namaskar, I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. Welcome to the Kashmir Truth. We are back again to fight against fake news, burst propaganda. We bring you the real images and developments from the valley. News of hope, development and positive transformation as well that is taking place in Kashmir. Let's begin. Let's first get cracking on fake news. Now, this post was shared by Facebook user, it goes by the name Mohammad Seriya, in which he shared a video showing a police officer assaulting a Muslim youth. Now, it is being said that the Muslim is a Kashmiri youth. Now, that's a fake news. Now, we'll tell you what the truth is. Well, this video is of Pakistan origin. It's a Pakistani video shot in the year 2009 in which Pakistani police is assaulting Pakistanis by forcibly entering into their homes. The picture has got nothing to do with India or Kashmir. It's the first fake news that we're bursting today. On to our next news that we want to present to you, the fake news that we are bursting. Pakistan DG ISPR Asif Ghafoor's lie has been caught. Ghafoor posted some pictures of Kashmir titled Kashmir, hashtag Kashmir is still crying, claim. Now the pictures shown here present the atrocities on people of Kashmir is what this fake post claims. Now Asif Ghafoor's lie has been caught. These images are actually war-affected Syria, Gaza and Iraq. Putting images out of context for somewhere else, they have no connection again with India or with Kashmir. Moving on, in fact, some news from Pakistan, real news from Pakistan. Another ranking in which our neighbor has performed miserably, a global ranking. International watchdog, the Freedom House has released its Freedom on the Net report for this year, 2019. Pakistan is ranked among the worst countries for internet and digital media freedom in the world. In fact, the report puts to question the online world in Pakistan, everything from privacy of users, censorship of activists, to spread of misinformation and fake news. More on what this report says.
While the downward trend of the political and economic reality of Pakistan makes headlines every day, there's another arena where state of affairs in our neighborhood is deplorable. According to an international report, Pakistan has been declared not free in terms of internet use for the 9th consecutive year. An international watchdog, the Freedom House, released its Freedom on the Net report for the year 2019 on Tuesday, titled The Crisis of Social Media, in which Pakistan was placed at 26 from its previous rank of 27 out of 100 countries. Besides, the report also found election manipulation in Pakistan through informational tactics. International watchdog, the Freedom House, released its Freedom on the Net report for the year 2019. The report is titled The Crisis of Social Media. Globally among the worst 10 countries in terms of internet and digital media freedom. Ranked 5th out of 25 for obstacles to access internet. Ranked 14th out of 35 for limits on content. Ranked 7th out of 40 for violation of user rights index. Pakistan emerged as the 3rd worst country after Vietnam and China. The report finds network connections were restricted on national religious holidays, citing security reasons. In 2018 general elections, networks were restricted in several regions of Balochistan. Authorities upped efforts to silence critical journalists and activists using a range of techniques. Online commentators exercised a degree of self-censorship. Coordinated and inauthentic accounts manipulating online content and spreading disinformation. While Pakistan levels accusations against India for temporarily blocking internet services in Kashmir, the global report shows a deep crisis in the online world of our neighbor. Kashmir Desk, DD News.
Let me introduce you to the guest today in the Kashmir Truth show. We have with us retired Major Dhruv Katoch. Welcome, sir. Good evening.
Thank you.
Now, we always begin the show by cracking on the fake news that is doing round, particularly in the context of Kashmir. Now, you've served in the forces, you've dealt with conventional and unconventional challenges. How big a challenge is fake news in the modern times, both for the forces and for the people?
I think this is perhaps one of the most important challenges today because the war of perception, I think, is more important than the actual war conflict which is carried out on the ground. And perceptions are shaped by narratives.
Right.
So we have to see who is setting the narrative. And when people set false narratives, it takes time actually, because the media is so fast. You know, a WhatsApp message goes across to thousands of people.
That's right.
Within minutes.
Goes viral,
and
as the
it
word
goes
goes.
viral, some of them, and then after that you see it to set the correct narrative. You require to be very, very quick on the job. So what we require is not just a narrative, not just setting setting false narratives right. This is one of the jobs which the channel is doing very well on the truth about Kashmir. But it is also about giving your narrative, the actual narrative on the ground, and propagating that in real time to the world.
Right.
So when we propagate our own narrative, then the opposition has to actually counter your narrative. So
Right.
we are on the front foot, they are on the back foot, and I think the setting the perception right, I think, is one of the most important features in a conflict situation.
You mentioned rightly,
today.
sir, about setting the right narrative, putting the truth across as well, even while we burst fake news. We in fact do that. The second part
Yes.
of the show we'll be doing that. But here, staying again with the part of fake news, we showed some fake news on Facebook and videos that are circulated. Some of these stories of cruelty that is circulated as something that is happening in Kashmir, which is in fact it's not happening, is in fact the origin lies across the border. These are stories of cruelty, of police cruelty that has happened in Pakistan. So it is quite an opposite of what these stories are trying to claim. It's not happening in India, it's happening across the border. People who in fact say there are issues in Kashmir.
You see, I think this is a very amusing situation by which Pakistan has tried very hard to get images to show that the situation in Kashmir is not normal.
Right.
And they have not been able to get these images. So what does their propaganda machine do, which is sponsored by the ISI? They take images of the brutality which they have committed in Balochistan, which they have committed in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, which they have committed in other parts of their country.
Repeatedly,
Yes.
Yeah.
And they also show images from Syria and Iraq. I think that sometimes it gets absolutely absurd, and then they try to interpolate those images into Kashmir.
Right.
Now, in many cases, the job which is done is so ham-handed. You can make out the terrain is different, you can make out the people are different, you can make out the dress is different. But yet, when you're looking at the gullible public, you see there are a very large number of people who will believe that.
Right.
And I think that is why it is important to question this narrative, to counter it at every single step, and to bring forth our actual narrative, because I think the way the positive narrative has been given out by Doordarshan, especially by showing live images in real time,
Yes.
I think that has set a very good trend. And I think it is something like this. I've had quite a few of my friends who have just come back. I met them yesterday itself, who had come back, and they had visited many parts of the Kashmir Valley, including what are supposed to be those most disturbed districts of South Kashmir. They walked about freely. They spoke to a large number of people, and it is surprising that I would like to tell the public here, a very large number of those people support the abrogation of 35A, the dilution in the provisions of 370, and they also support the state becoming a union territory, because in their perception, for once, at last, they will get development, which has been denied to them. So that is actually the truth of Kashmir.
And so, moving forward, we were showing to our viewers a particular report, an international report that has come in, which ranks Pakistan really poorly as far as social media freedoms in the country is concerned. Now, given what we know and the visuals that we see, the news that emanates out of Pakistan about the political reality, about the economic reality, to what extent do you think it's also reflected in the social media freedoms that is so crucial in today's times?
No, you see, Pakistan is a country which very frankly has very limited freedoms. I mean, let us put it in a very broad context. You see, when you're looking at Balochistan, which is a large chunk of the country, in areas 44% of the physical area, right? Most of those people are deprived of basic rights. When you're looking at Sindh, they are deprived of basic rights. When you're looking at Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, when you're looking at what is happening in Fatah, Gilgit-Baltistan, even in Mirpur, Muzaffarabad, except for the Punjab province of Pakistan, I think every other person is upset with what the government is doing. When you're looking at communities, except for the Sunni Muslims in Pakistan, there is no other community which is happy there. They have actually come into a state which has become something like a terror state. I mean, of course, but Pakistan is a terror state, but they have actually started terrorizing their own people. So one of the ways in which to suppress information, in which to give out a false narrative, is to give out that sense of falsehood to your own people.
Right.
And I'm surprised that there are some people in the strategic circles in Pakistan itself who are supposed to be their thinkers, even they are kowtowing to the military line. And I think that is a very sad state of affairs.
Well, there we'll try and reflect a little more on that, sir. But let's move a little forward in the show. Let's look at some more images from, in fact, Kashmir, high reaches of Kashmir, including Gulmarg, Sonmarg tourist resorts received the first snowfall of the season. The plains also were lashed by rain, bringing down the mercury even further, more than 10 degrees. The downpour in the plains has significantly brought down the temperatures in the city. The Mughal Road connecting Poonch and Rajouri districts in Jammu region was also closed for vehicular traffic after the snowfall. The winter chill, in fact, has set in early this year in Kashmir. The maximum temperature during the last couple of days has settled a couple of degrees below normal for this time of the season due to snowfall at Srinagar airport. A couple of flights have also been cancelled. Other flights are delayed due to congestion as well. And with the first snowfall shower in Kashmir, tourists are flocking in the beautiful city, leaving no chance of witnessing the snowfall. Our correspondent Rama Tyagi, who's based there, is in conversation with some tourists viewing the mesmerizing Dal Lake. Let's listen into what they had to say.
यहाँ पे मौसम चेंज हो चुका है।
हम दिल्ली से हैं, बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, सरप्राइजिंग है हमारे लिए। हमने सोचा नहीं था कि ऐसा जो है बर्फ देखने के लिए मिल जाएगी।
कल रात हम आए यहाँ पे, कल से ही बर्फबारी जारी हो।
अच्छा लग रहा है सही है सब माहौल। हमने सुना था कि गड़बड़ है, पर अब तक तो सब अच्छा चल रहा है, आगे भी अच्छा रहे, अल्लाह करे।
द वेदर इज फैंटास्टिक और आज सुबह हम लोगों ने देखा जिस टाइप से स्नो वगैरह थी, तो इट्स वर्थ कमिंग।
यहाँ पर तो आके तो सरप्राइज से हो गए हम, बर्फ मिल गई। जी जी बिल्कुल, जो कहा है कि जन्नत है तो वाकई में यही ही है।
बहुत अच्छा फर्स्ट टाइम एक्सपीरियंस एंड बहुत अच्छा स्वागत हो गया है। थैंक्स टू कश्मीर एंड थैंक्स टू ऑल द पीपल हियर, दे आर ऑल वार्म। आने के पहले सब बोल रहे थे कि सेफ नहीं है, ये नहीं है, यू नो प्लान कैंसिल करना चाहिए करके, बट ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। सब वार्म है, सबको आना चाहिए, विजिट करना चाहिए और बहुत अच्छी जगह है।
The tourists having a good time enjoying the first snowfall of the season. Let's also, with this, also get you the images of Kashmir that our reporters gathered today. These are images of today. We try and show you the ways in which normalcy prevails. Also, you get a glimpse of what the day looks like in Srinagar. You can see the snowfall, cars on the road, people going about their lives. Even as the beautiful snowfall has started, the first snow of the season, the winter has come in early for Kashmir. These are images, as they do in any other city in the country. The beautiful snowfall, it's a attraction across the world, the snowfall and the beauty of Kashmir in winters. And we're getting you those images of today. This is when the snowfall started, the first snow of the season. And also in the background, the traffic jams in the cars, in the people going to different shops, you can get a glimpse of the manner in which normalcy prevails in the valley. These images of Srinagar there came in today, 7th of November. And Major Dhruv Katoch continues to be with us. Important images there, and it's interesting how the tourists themselves are dispersing a lot of myths that do around that it may not be safer to visit Kashmir. They're there, they're having a good time, also enjoying the first snow of the season.
You see, two images caught my attention. You know, one is there is a couple who's holding a baby in their arms,
yes,
a small baby, you know. I mean, that is the level of confidence that you are taking kids who are less than 1 year old, holding them in your arms, and the tourists are taking them. The second image, I think, which has really captured my imagination is now there are traffic jams.
Yes.
So, to some extent, Srinagar is becoming like Delhi. We are getting our traffic jams. I don't think there could be a better sign of normalcy than these two images which you have just shown to us.
Right. Also, the boost in tourism is a very important aspect of the future of the region. It always was famous across the world, paradise on earth. But now, as it sort of works towards and move towards a new future, tourism again is going to be central to that, and we see that picking up already.
Yes, I think tourism has got a dual impact. One is the
Yes,
people from
certainly.
the rest of the country, they can come there, and as far as the local economy is concerned, you see, it boosts that economy. So I think it is something which is mutually beneficial, and this is something which the terrorists have tried to disrupt time and time again. But now I think their effort to disrupt such activities is on the wane. and which is why the level of confidence of the local public also has increased to a very large extent, which is why you see all the shops open now.
Right.
Earlier the shops were closed not because they wanted to close the shops, they were closed because there was a fear of terrorist attacks. Now when you're seeing all shops open, when you're seeing hundreds and thousands of cars on the road, when you're seeing a roadblock as what you're seeing right now,
yes,
then I think, I think the truth of Kashmir is out. Kashmir is normal, Kashmir is happy, and I think that is the way Kashmir should be.
It's a very important point that you also mentioned, sir, about the perception, the manner in which tourists happy with their families, with little kids, also work as an important dealing with the perception aspect of how things are fine in Kashmir. Also, sir, winters are also harsh. I mean, it's beautiful sitting in Delhi looking at the snowfall, but we know that this period of Chellai Kalan also begins the 40-day period of extreme harsh winters. Give us some insight. We know about how water freezes in the pipelines for the people, for the forces who are deputed there. How challenging is this period going to be in the months?
You see, as far as the forces are concerned, they are deployed on the borders, and when you're looking at most of the border areas, they're at heights between 8,000 to 14,000 feet, where the majority of the troops are deployed. Of course, there are higher peaks than that, but the number of troops deployed are much less. And in most of those areas, what happens is that at least for 3 to 4 months in a year, there is no vehicular movement at all. In some places, like in the Machel sector, there is no vehicular movement for at least 6 months in a year. So right from the commanding officer to the brigade commander to whomsoever comes there, all the movement for those 6 months is on foot. It's an interesting phenomena that when you build your bunkers or your living accommodation, if you got your barracks, if it snows in the night, you see troops come out in the night to get that snow off the roof. Otherwise, with the weight of the snow, the building may collapse. These are tin structures which you make there. You may make them as high as you want. Sometimes the snow just doesn't get off. And the most interesting part of it is sometimes you see when the winter develops, you will find that the snow has come up to 10 to 12 feet. So you actually build steps from the top. You build steps to come down to your bunker. Right, your bunker is actually well below what is then the ground level. So because the snow has risen to such a level, your bunker is at a lower level. So the steps are built. So you come on, you're traveling on top of the snow. Then you take the steps, you come down to your bunker, which is another 10 feet.
The kind of challenges
and
that are.
So it's a very interesting life, and I think it's very enjoyable also in its own way. It's lonely, but it's a wonderful life.
Interesting insight there, sir. Let's move forward in the show, and let's also talk about a certain development initiatives and stories that are coming in from Kashmir. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in fact, on Wednesday, took stock of the progress of the ambitious Udhampur-Baramulla rail link project. He gave clear instructions to expedite the work and complete it by next year. Prime Minister Modi has fixed, in fact, 2020 as the deadline for this ambitious project connecting Srinagar to Indian Railway network, while chairing his 31st interaction meet through Pragati with secretaries of various union ministries and chief secretaries of various states and union territories. Prime Minister reviewed the progress of infrastructure connectivity projects, including that of Udhampur, Srinagar, Baramulla rail link, and he, as we mentioned, gave clear instructions on speedy completion of the project by next year. Jammu and Kashmir Police began a special police officer recruitment rally at District Police Lines, Udhampur district, after abrogation of Article 370. 6,000 aspiring youth from Udhampur adjoining areas have registered, and they'll be screened for their physical and medical fitness during the said 7-day long recruitment rally. The recruitment process is divided into several categories and rounds, which include physical fitness test, medical test, and others. Selected candidates will be inducted into the service of Jammu and Kashmir administration.
मैं आपके माध्यम से ये कहना चाहता हूँ, हमारे जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी साहब हैं, उन्होंने जो यूनियन टेरिटरी किया, हमें बहुत अच्छा लगा. इसमें हमें सहयोग मिला और आगे के लिए भी हमें ऐसा ही चाहते हैं. और मैं नरेंद्र मोदी साहब जी को धन्यवाद कहना चाहता हूँ कि हमें ऐसे और भी मौके मिले. और हमें बहुत खुशी है कि हमारी सैलरी भी बढ़ गई है, एसपीओज की सैलरी भी बढ़ गई है, और जितने भी गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉई है सबकी बढ़ गई है. हम बहुत खुश हैं. ऐसे मौके मिलने चाहिए हम सबको.
Now, Kashmir always brings out the best of talent, and the future of the valley really lies in the hands of the youth, who are braving several attempts by terrorists to disrupt peace in the region. They show up a strong face. One such inspirational story is of Mohammad Hanif Sofi from Badgam, belonging to a poor family. He hopes of becoming a name in martial arts. Recently, Hanif won a gold medal in the 20th state championship and made his region and parents proud.
मुझे बचपन से ये शौक था कि मैं स्पोर्ट्स खेलूं, कोई गेम खोलूं, अपना नाम रोशन करूं, अपने स्टेट का नाम रोशन करूं और अपना मुल्क का भी नाम रोशन करूं। हाल ही में 20 स्टेट्स की चैंपियनशिप जो कि इंडोर में हुई थी, वहां पर मैंने गोल्ड मेडल निकाला, वहां पर सिलेक्शन हुई। बहुत ही जल्दी हमें नेशनल के लिए रवाना होना है।
More power to people like Hanif. Moving on, Government Degree College in Poonch, Indian Initiative has started a new awareness program where the college is making the farmers aware of the benefits of silk production. Sericulture department of the college is conducting a short-term add-on course on sericulture. It's also teaching the benefits and perks of this industry. The awareness program started keeping in mind the large potential of silk production in Poonch district. Till date, more than 1,000 farmers have taken keen interest in the production of silk. This year, 1,000 kg cocoons, silk cocoons were produced by different farmers in Poonch.
अंडरस्टैंड नहीं कर पाया है कि ये एक सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेट की जा सकती है। तो हमने पिछले 10-12 साल से कोशिश किया है फार्मर्स को जोड़ने की, और आज बहुत सारे फार्मर जुड़ गए हैं। इसका बहुत स्कोप है क्योंकि यहाँ का टेम्परेचर, ह्यूमिडिटी, इन्वायरमेंट और मलबरी जो तूत जिस पे फीड करते हैं ये सिल्क वार्म यहाँ पे अवेलेबल है। तो हमने कोशिश किया है फार्मर्स को दिखाने की कि भाई आप 30 दिन 1 महीना अगर काम करोगे तो एक अच्छी खासी इनकम जनरेट की जा सकती है।
And we'll turn to our guest in the studio, Major Dhruv Katoch. Sir, the positive developmental stories that we were talking about earlier in the program. Abrogation of Article 370 united Jammu and Kashmir with India in a manner that it did not earlier. Now, the extension of the Indian railways connecting Srinagar to the vast network of Indian railways, that is also going to deeply connect the peoples of India, including Jammu and Kashmir, like never before.
Yes, you see, the railway, it is going to cut through the mountains, and go across the Pir Panjal, and it'll be something like a 24 hours, 365 days connectivity.
Right.
There's going to be absolutely no roadblocks. And the traveling time really from Jammu to Srinagar and on to Baramulla, it'll be practically, it'll be reduced by at least 70%. So I think this connectivity is a very important problem, a very important intervention, because connectivity is what really integrates people. Now, when you had the Pir Panjal blocked for, say, when the snow is there and the road gets blocked, then the people in the interior feel that they are actually separated from the mainland. And that separated feeling, it comes not just to the people of Kashmir, it is any hill people who are actually separated in that manner.
Right.
They start thinking of themselves as the other and the other party as the other, because there is a very clear dividing line. So I think this is a very important step. The railway line, communication is actually most vital. It is not just in Kashmir. I think even in Northeast India, once you're finding that these communications, the communications are improving there, you're finding the integration is coming at a much faster pace.
Absolutely. When we talk about the future of the region, we always give reference to the young people, school children, and the youth. The images that came in, whether it's children going for their board examination or the recruitment in the police and forces, a very positive image for the future of the region.
Yes, you see, and another thing is, once the train comes in, you will find a much larger number of people from inside the valley traveling towards Jammu and towards Delhi. It'll become a much cheaper form of travel, and it's a much more comfortable form of travel. So I think this is something which really should be, I'm glad that the Prime Minister has given a deadline. Otherwise, these projects tend to get delayed. Now, when the deadline has been given and the Prime Minister himself has declared it, I've got absolutely no doubt that it will be delivered in 2020.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a very important milestone.
Right. Let me thank you for joining us in the studio today and sharing all those insights. And in fact, before we conclude, we'd like to show you once again the stunning, beautiful glimpses of the first snowfall of the season in Kashmir. High reaches of Kashmir, including Gulmarg and Sonmarg tourist resorts, received the first snowfall of the season. Plains were also lashed by the rains, bringing down the temperature. Winters are here for Kashmir. For about 10 degrees Celsius, the temperatures dropped, and those were the images of the snowfall. And with that, we also conclude this edition of the Kashmir Truth. News and updates continue on DD News. Namaskar.
बलरामपुर में राफ्टिंग अभियान दल के लिए सांस्कृतिक संध्या का आयोजन हुआ।